Being smart and sustainable. We thought we would ask some students what their favorite place to eat on campus was and how much a typical meal costs, just to get a good sense on what people are eating and what people are spending in order to live here in Foggy Bottom.
Potbellies and its typical food costs like $12.
I'm a vegetarian and I really like sweet green, but it's way too expensive, like $11 or $12.
My favorite place is Whole Foods, and it usually costs $6.50.
This clip, taken from a GW promotional video, shows just how much the city has to offer. But here on Foggy Bottom, there's not many options in terms of sustainable food. You could go to Whole Foods, use your G World, but it's way too expensive. And Trader Joe's is also a good option, but doesn't take G World and is kind of far from campus. One great option is the farmer's market by the Metro, which offers locally grown produce, and fortunately, every GW dorm has access to a kitchen. The one downside is that it is seasonal, meaning that you're left to your own devices during the winter months. Everything is organic and locally grown, making it the closest thing to sustainable that we have. When considering what meal we wanted to make, we built it around the seasonal, local vegetables we could acquire from the farmer's market to keep it feasible for the typical student, but also for any member of the local community. We also took into consideration prep time and costs to keep in line with both the college schedule and budget. Keeping all that in mind, we decided upon a fall stir fry, keeping cooking supplies and space to a minimum for college students. We chose to use kale, butternut squash, sweet potatoes, and onions. We also chose to go to Trader Joe's and buy frozen chicken to add protein to the nutritional value of the meal. Also, we bought stir-fry sauce, but it could be easily substituted with a simple soy sauce solution. Seeing as how butternut squash has a long cooking time, we decided to first cut that and cook it in the microwave, so as to not hinder the rest of the meal. Make sure to scoop out the inside of the squash. We chose to use butternut squash because it is packed full of vitamins and minerals, including vitamin A, potassium, and fiber, that add to a healthy and well-rounded lifestyle. But also, butternut squash, along with the rest of our vegetables, are grown along the eastern coast and cut down on transportation costs as well as fossil fuel emissions. After you're done prepping the inside, just put the butternut squash in a microwave-safe dish and microwave for about 12 minutes with light seasoning and olive oil. We've also began thawing our free-range chicken breast. Free-range means that the chickens are not cooped up in a small area and limits the spread of disease, improves the quality of life, and limits the amount of pesticides that are in the chicken feed that would then be consumed by us. We've also began boiling our sweet potatoes that, similar to the butternut squash, are packed full of vitamins and nutrients, while also being locally farmed and grown. Our next two ingredients are kale and onion. Kale, a dense, leafy green vegetable, has a lot to offer in terms of nutrients, but at very low calorie counts. And onions are a great way to add flavor and minimize costs. Next, we begin prepping the chicken to add into the wok, or frying pan if that's the only thing available. First, add the chicken, because that will take the longest to cook. And, as we add ingredients, we'll elaborate on why it is important to have sustainable eating options. The DC EBT credit is roughly $150 a month, which equates to only $4.50 a day, meaning that if you only ate twice a day, your meal would have to cost $2.25. The ingredients purchased for this meal totaled just shy of $15 and could yield roughly 4 meals, or $3.75 per meal, $1.50 over the rate. At a grocery store, it is difficult to conceptualize how much each item will cost based on the amounts of ingredients you buy. But at McDonald's, for example, $2.25 can buy you at least 2 items from the dollar menu. It is important to have sustainable food options because without them, people turn to the cheapest option that suffices hunger momentarily but does not add nutritional value and increases the prevalence of heart disease and obesity in low-income areas. Thank you, and we hope you learned how to be smart and sustainable while being a student here at GW.